Take a look at verse 3. It says, Saul went into the cave to relieve himself. But as it happened, David and his men were hiding further back in this very cave. We can go into those same environments that we used to go into to relieve ourselves, right? We might be able to, it might be a little John on the side that, you know, you might be really feeling. And you might want to hit her up just so you can relieve yourself. But you don't even see the fact that you got the enemy and all of his men waiting on you to take you out. You get what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
You get what I'm saying? You can go to that bar,
good.
you can go to the club, you can go, hey, listen, you can do these things. And I'm not doubting nobody who does it, right? But I'm saying there's a certain level of progression. You got to remember, Saul was a king, but he was acting out of his pride. So his pride put him in certain environments that would have ended up getting him to be killed or murdered. So when you walking around as a king, you can't put yourself in certain areas and certain environments because everybody doesn't have your best interests. But you will be able to go into these environments to relieve yourself. Even though you got a whole situation at home, even though you got a whole family, bro, we all do it. We all have the same fleshful feelings. Even though, you know, you got a son, even though you got a daughter that's watching you, like they watching every step that you take. Even when you responded to your coworkers, how you treating your wife, how you treating your boys. You know what I'm saying? Like when they see this, they start to embody it, and then they start taking on the same actions because they know that one day they'll be king and queens. And so when they go into certain caves, see those, when you go into certain caves, that means that you're going into certain environments where nobody can see everything that you're doing. What's done in the dark will surely come out in the light. And then that's when we can see right here where David, he comes out of the cave. He said, for the Lord placed you at my mercy back in there in the cave. Some of my men told me to kill you, but I spared you. For I said I would never harm the king. He is the Lord's anointed one. How many of y'all are kings? How many of your wives? How many of your sisters? How many of your mothers are queens? But when you go into a dark cave, into a location where you should not be, you see that Saul went into that cave alone. He had 3,000 men with him, but he went into the cave alone. That's why it said that David's men said, oh, nah, you got the power. The Lord has put him at your mercy. Let's take him out right now. This man had 3,000 men with him, but he tucked himself away. He said, you know what, I'm going to go into this cave. And he went in by himself, and he went to relieve himself. How many times can we say that we do the same thing?